Share it with your friends and family. Let them know we're live right now on Instagram. I'm going to be reasoning with an Empress tonight, Jamila. I'm excited because roots, reggae, and orchestra, like it's speaking my language, you know. Growing up playing the piano and the saxophone. What? I love this. Listen to this track. To the soul, we reorganize our system of roots girls skanking, roots girls skanking, sound system cranking, roots girls skanking. Big up all my roots people worldwide. Roots Reggae Hub, we're live here. It's Melody Mondays. Thanks for joining me. Big up. Rapper Reggae Moroso. Hope I'm saying that right. Voice, thanks for joining me tonight. Bless up everybody here in the chat. I'm going to send the invites so we can talk to the Empress tonight. I'm going to be reasoning with Jamila. Follow her on Instagram at Jamila Sings. Bless up yourself. Brazil is in the house. Big up all my Brazilian reggae family. Wagwan. Share the live, guys. Bless up everybody that's tuning in here in Toronto as well. Finally, it's getting warm. Spring has sprung here. We're going to talk about the Roots Girl album today. And we're going to talk about a special event happening in Toronto. If you don't already know, well, now you know. It's the Reggae Roots Toronto Symphony Orchestra that will be taking place on April 15th and 16th. Okay, she's here. I see her. She has joined. I'm going to send her the invite right now. For all my radio people, come over and join us on Instagram so you can take in the video portion. I love to interact with the people here. I see you. I'm sending you the invite as we speak. Tell me if you got. Oh, you sent it.
Greetings.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes. Jamila. Is it Jamila or Jamila?
Jamila.
Jamila. I was saying it right. Okay,
Yes.
good.
You know what I would love to do, Sistrin? I would love to show you where I am. I'm at my rehearsal, preparing
I would
for our
love to
shows.
see.
Watch this.
Hey guys, say goodbye to Roots Reggae Hub.
Let's get him a piece of it. Watch this out. You say it for yourself. Let me hear it in your own words. Mr. Officer, what did you do to the black man? All right, thank you guys.
Oh my gosh, your voice.
All right.
Such a beautiful voice. Are you still there? Uh-oh, we got cut off. We come back live again. She gave us a little taste, a little behind the scenes of her rehearsal going right now. What? The vibes is right. I hope I can get the Empress back on right now. I'll send her the invite again. For those of you who are here early.
All right. I am back.
Yes.
Thank you for allowing me to do that.
That's okay. That's okay. The vibes, it was like lit up over there. I love it. Are you rehearsing for something specific?
Yes, well, in addition to rehearsing for Toronto, because this is on our set list, we have the East Coast Music Awards that we're preparing for. That's coming up in under a month. So we're excited for that as well. We're up for 2 nominations, so I'm really proud of me and our team, you know?
Oh my gosh, congratulations. I'm so excited to hear that. you're just so talented. Oh my gosh, like your voice, your whole album is just so like you're a treasure. And I feel like I found a treasure, and
Oh, thank you.
I opened the treasure box, and I'm like, this, you're just a shining bright light, and I'm so happy to have discovered you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sis. And for
I don't
giving
know
me
if
the
you got the
chance to
show
share your
rundown
platform.
and the questions I wanted to ask you, but I know you don't have much time because you're rehearsing.
That's okay. Take your time.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so excited. So tell everyone in your own words, for also the radio listeners, keep that in mind too, who you are.
Okay. So my name is Jamila, and I am a reggae artist, and I am also a social advocate. I am from Jamaica originally, but I am so proud to call Nova Scotia my home. Yes.
Love that. I have a sister over in Nova Scotia, and I've been there. It's beautiful. So you're
Yes.
representing for the East Coast?
Absolutely, absolutely, sis. Would love to meet your sister as well.
Yes. And representing for Jamaica?
Absolutely. Every time, all the time.
Yes. I love it. Tell me what inspired you to pursue your career in music?
Well, I've been singing for my entire life. I can't remember a time when I wasn't singing. And so it was only fate that allowed me to be able to bring it to the world, to be able to share it, you know. The truth is I'll be singing whether or not anyone's listening, but the fact that I have people who are interested in my art and in my creativity and in my voice is a blessing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so you're inspired from young. And how was your family life? Was your family life good starting up? And you're.
I'm a country girl, you know, from St. Anne, Jamaica, and I grew up with my mom, my maternal side of family, because my dad was a traveling musician, and so I was in the church on one side and then hanging with the Rastafarian elders on the other side, and it really helped to shape who I am. I feel like, I know I get it from both sides, you know, because of how I was brought up. Yeah.
I love to hear that music runs in your family. I find that often happens with artists that I speak to, that like either their parents or their grandparents, someone had that gift that they passed on. Daniel's here too. I see Daniel joined us.
Daniel, I am so
In here.
sorry I didn't get to, because I had to find out it was the Insta live. I had a Zoom link I was trying to connect to.
Oh my gosh. I might add Daniel in a moment just to get some questions from him too. Tell me about, your influence. You said Rastafari influenced you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what the creative process behind your album, Roots Girl. It's such a beautiful album. I've been listening to it, jamming to it. There's so many different tracks. You show so many different elements of yourself, like the fact that you're so versatile.
Yes.
Tell me about the creative process. What inspired the album?
Well, when I came to, most of my musical career was as a background vocalist when I was living in Jamaica. And when I came to Canada, I kind of found a community of people that was interested in supporting me to sing my own music. And I think that this album is really a musical documentation of my growth here, building roots here, and also preserving my cultural roots here as well. So it didn't really have a big overarching strategic plan, but it was just one song that was divinely inspired after another. And then I've decided to put them all together in one piece of work. And it's kind of like the Roots album, the foundation. And from that album, hopefully I will only grow.
Yes, it's your debut album. You still have so much in store, so much to deliver, creatively. And it just seems like this is the start, and it seems like you blow up too. Like this orchestra, the symphony, this thing is huge. Like when I saw it, I got a link. Someone sent me a link. One of my co-workers sent me a link, and I was like, what? And being, I grew up playing the piano. I grew up playing the saxophone. I was like, I have to go. I have to cover this show. I have to write about it. I have to promote it. I was just like, no, like I have to. And I even reached out to Daniel as well, the conductor, and I was blown away by his Instagram as well.
Yeah.
So tell me what messages you hope to convey, because there's some powerful songs on the album. You speak of like Trayvon Martin, say their names and stuff like that. So Chant Their Names is actually the title track.
Yeah.
And you have the Sugar and Spice, Roots Girl, of course, which is the title track of the album as well. Tell me about how important the messages are for you in delivering those messages.
Yeah, that's a great question. I have a few values around my creativity and the kind of legacy I want to leave behind in my music. And one of them is that it is totally clean and that it should be consumable by everyone. And if the kids can love it, then I'm happy. And so I love that this album, the messages on it are positive and it is kind of encouraging us to be compassionate and to love our brothers and sisters and to love ourselves. You know, evolution is all about that. And to show up authentically, I think that's what Roots Girl is kind of suggesting as well. So these are the kinds of messages. And I think for my next album, which I'm actively working on now, I'm going to even refine these messages a little more, you know?
Hey, you're already working on it. What? All right, I'm excited for the next one. I'm still excited for the first one, much less for the next one. I gotta hold on tight to my seat right here. Tell me what experiences you've had as a woman in the reggae music industry. How's it been for you so far?
You know, it's been an interesting journey in different ways. One of them is that when I was growing up, a lot of the representation I saw of female singers was as background vocalists. Only one or two of them would, you know, like cross over and really make it big. So big up Judy Mott and, you know, Sister Nancy Janine, Dila Ike Coffee. But also the image, the self-image and the sorts of ways that I see female artists show up. I mean, all power to them. I love it. I think it's great. But, you know, modesty isn't really in pop culture all the time. And, you know, I kind of have a different vibe. I want to show up as myself, you know. I want to show up as myself comfortably and true to myself. So,
And you're so
yeah, that's all.
authentic, and you do a great job at showing up as yourself. I saw the music video as well on your YouTube page. I'm encouraging everyone to go check out Jamila's YouTube page. It's a vibe. I shared a little clip of the video for Roots Girl. I was like, I felt like I was there. I felt like I was, you know, in the video.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're telling my story. You know?
Oh, give thanks. Big up Charlie Benoit, who plays guitar in our band, Jeff Miller, and the whole team that helped me to get that video to the world.
Video is
Daniel still around though? Is Daniel here? Hey Daniel, are you still there, my love?
He is here. I'm going to send him an invite because we're going to talk about a little bit about the symphony in a minute. Tell me about your biggest influences. Well, you said already some of the women you've already influenced you already. So I think we got that. What's the most memorable part of your career so far? Is it the symphony coming up?
Yes. Yes. Well, that experience in Ottawa, sis, I went there with knots in my belly. I was suffering from debilitating imposter syndrome. It was yeah, nerve-wracking for sure. But then, sis, we sold 4,000 tickets over 3 days. Daniel, the whole NAC orchestra, my team here together, we really did it. And so I'm going into Toronto Symphony with a renewed spirit, with a renewed confidence, because I have already proven that it can be done, you know?
And Toronto loves reggae music. I don't know if you know, but there's a huge reggae family here in Toronto. We are supporting you. We're supporting Daniel. I just sent him an invite. I hope he can accept the invite so we can hear a little bit from the conductor as well. What a talented man. I'm like, what? I love to see, you know, shining stars in our community. Yep. Doing great things.
Yep.
And Daniel,
if I could say a few things about Daniel. If I could say a few things about Daniel, Daniel got an opportunity to engage me in a Black History Month performance with Symphony Nova Scotia. And you know how you plan for your life, you plan for your career, you plan, but I never anticipate that I would get the opportunity to do this. But Daniel made that possible by creating space for me and for creating space for not only my culture, but his culture as well in this genre. So I want to big up Daniel, you know. We're on a journey together, and it's a divine journey, and I'm really excited for what is to come.
Oh, that sounds so special. I would love to get him in here. I sent him a couple invites, but I don't know if he's able to accept.
I can maybe send.
I sent him two invites, but I don't know if he's able. Said he's unable to accept. Tell me about any advice that you would give, you know, for aspiring musicians or singers that see what you're doing, because it's such a big scale doing what you're doing with an orchestra. Like, that is a huge, huge thing. You know, most people, they might go on stage by themselves, maybe with a band, but with a full-on Toronto Symphony Orchestra, you're taking it to the next level.
Sis, the advice I would give to the youth or anyone aspiring to do music or any other discipline is those same foundational skills. You show up as the best version of yourself, you know, on time, prepared, ready to go, respectful, you know what I mean? Humble, open-minded. And those are the types of things that like kind of take you across the world. It translates across every sort of discipline, and I'm still working on those things, for you know, those attributes for myself. But it's certainly the things that resonate with me when I like step on the stage and I'm like, okay, all right. Just have to remember the foundational things, sis, and then let your light shine, you know?
Yes. And that's back to your authenticity. I feel it, and I feel it in your music. I hear it in your voice. Daniel sent me an invite, so I'm going to accept him in here so we can talk more about what he has planned for us.
Okay, cool.
All right, let me accept that invite right now so he can get in here. For everybody that didn't already hear me, this is happening in Toronto and in Brampton at the Rose Theatre, one at Roy Thompson Hall if you're downtown in the GTA. And if you're in the suburbs, come true to Brampton Rose Theatre. It's a beautiful theater. I've been there, of course, for some of Denise Jones's. Hello! Daniel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so happy to see your face.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. Hi, Jamila.
Hey, Daniel. I'm having rehearsals in the background, so you'll hear the guys. Pardon me.
I remember that room. I remember the room. It's so good.
Jamila was just telling me how this is like a divine thing, how you've come together. You guys have done something magical here. Tell me what it's been like for you working with her, and tell me what you have in store for April 15th and 16th, 2023. That's coming up soon for everybody here in Toronto.
Well, it's pretty wonderful working with Jamila, because what she does is so authentic and real and special, and the same generosity of spirit that you've seen at the beginning of this interview is what she emanates on stage, except so much more. And she said something about imposter syndrome, but it's like, Jamila, come on now. Like, at this point, honestly, you know, it's been really wonderful just watching her, because, you know, orchestra is different, right? So there's no question about reggae, right? But sometimes when you go in front of an orchestra, it can be pretty intimidating at first. But watching Jamila blossom even more, right? Not even blossom, that's not the right word. It's take command. That's what it is. You know, just like take command of the experience for the audience, for the orchestra. It's been wonderful. So yeah.
And how is it for you? Like, how many people are you conducting? Like, how many people are involved in this massive performance?
Yeah, there's about, I think it's about 53 or 55 or so on stage. And actually might be more for this show with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. This show, I mean, it depends on the size. Like, we can do it with you know, up to thousands and thousands of musicians, right? So, but this particular one, I think, is about 50 to 60 musicians, and every musician. What's great about orchestra is that, you know, if you're in your car and your car has 4 speakers, okay, that's great. But with an orchestra, every instrument is a speaker, and it's a live speaker with somebody who's playing, you know, making that and thinking about that sound. So it's pretty powerful, pretty fast, and that's what I think orchestra adds in these concerts to the reggae rhythms of Jamila and the band.
So is it going to be reggae songs that we already know, you know, that we're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, it's going to give us like flashbacks of times in our lives and, you know, like not nostalgic type of thing?
Yes.
Short.
Jamila, do you want to say it?
Yes. Absolutely. So we have a Reggae Roots educational program, a virtual educational program that Daniel Bartholomew-Poyser, but Daniel, why am I saying your full name? He spearheaded in 2021. And so this is the selection of music, most of it that we use to tell the reggae story to the youths through this program. And so it's a wide cross-section of music, really important songs mixed in with a few of my originals as well, and Danielle's originals as well. So.
Great.
Daniel, can you share a little bit of your background? I got Jamila's background in the beginning, in the intro. Tell me a little bit about like how you became the man you are today.
My mom is from Trinidad and Tobago. My dad is from Jamaica, so that's sort of the Caribbean side. I was born in Montreal and lived there for 5 years and moved to Calgary, where I did my music degree and I taught music. And then I did a number of auditions. Thunder Bay Symphony Orchestra was my first position, and then Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony was my second position. And then Halifax Symphony Nova Scotia. I got a title there probably 6 or 7 years ago. I'm still with Symphony Nova Scotia, which is where I met Jamila. Love Halifax, too bad. Oh, miss Halifax. And now I live in Toronto, sorry. And work in Toronto, Ottawa. Yeah, Toronto, Ottawa, Halifax, and San Francisco with those orchestras, as well as in New York.
Nice. All right, so we have you here. We get to keep you, hopefully.
Of course.
I'm selfishly wanting to keep you. I'm looking forward to the show. I did reach out for some media accreditations, you know, and I definitely want to, you know, take it in. And as a lover of sax and as a lover of like pretty much every instrument I love, and I grew up playing the piano and stuff like that. I love classical music, but I love reggae music. So I feel like it's the best of both worlds. That's
what it's supposed to be. And really, it's not a lot of orchestras in North America are doing anything like this. And I think we're definitely among the first in Canada. Hopefully this is the beginning of something that just becomes totally normal. Like the same way you have a holiday pop, so you have, you know, reggae and jazz, or like a blues concert, just like, oh yeah, sorry, how you have orchestra and blues or orchestra and solo or whatever. Just have, orchestra reggae night, you know, a couple times a year. It should just be normal. It should be regular, I think. So hopefully it will be. We'll see.
All right.
Absolutely.
Are you doing any youth programs here in Toronto?
Yeah, I do lots of youth programming in Toronto, actually. We did a show today, actually. I did 2 concerts today. I have one tomorrow, which is called Moments, and it's all about introducing the young people to the people in the Toronto Symphony Orchestra, so that by the time they leave that concert, they will know the personal journeys of some of the musicians in the orchestra and what goes into their big moments on stage. And then, you know, the reggae concert is being done as a family show. Next year, we're doing Bhangra and Beyond, right? And hoping to take that to some different places in Toronto. Can't say too much yet, but that's in the works right now. And so on and so on. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be spying on your Instagram, keeping notes, sharing your stuff, sharing it, spreading it with the world. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but if you are on Twitter, I have to find you on Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, I have too much music to study. I can't be on all the socials yet. You're too busy for Twitter, right? All right, so tell everybody again when this is happening and where they can find you both. Spell it out, because we're also live on the radio, so you have to spell out your full Instagram for the radio listeners.
Okay, so I'm Jamila, and my Instagram handle is Jamila Sings, JAHMILA Sings. And you can find me on my website, www.jamilamusic.com. And we're super excited for the Reggae Roots to be presented with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra on April 11th to April 16th in Toronto at both the Rose Brampton Theatre and at the Roy Thompson Hall.
And my name is Daniel Bartholomew-Poyser. That's Daniel as in Daniel. Bartholomew-Poyser. Get ready for it. B as in Bravo. ARTHOLO. M as in Mike. EW. P as in Papa. O. Y as in Yankee. SER. Daniel Bartholomew-Poyser. That's my Instagram handle. Conductor of Toronto Symphony Orchestra. We are presenting Reggae Roots with Jamila, the Canadian and soon-to-be international reggae star, April 15th at Brampton at the Rose Theatre. That's Reggae Roots with Jamila. April 15th at the Rose Theatre, and then April 16th, 2 shows, I believe, at 1:30 and 4:30, and a relaxed show, which means that's for people on the neurodivergent spectrum, any sort of spectrum, or anybody who wants to enjoy a concert of reggae with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra in a relaxed environment at 11 a.m. So those shows are April 15th, Saturday in Brampton, April 16th on Saturday with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra at Roy Thompson Hall with Jamila.
The best place to get tickets? Roy Thompson Hall website?
On the Toronto
somewhere.
Symphony Orchestra, on the Toronto Symphony Orchestra website, and it will lead you to the tickets.
TSO.ca, or for the Brampton show on Saturday, April 15th, the Rose Theatre in Brampton. Just look up Rose and Reggae Roots, and you will find it.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Thank you both for taking the time. Thank you for taking the time
Yeah.
out of rehearsal, Jamila. And thank you, Daniel.
Can I say one thing, actually? If anybody who's listening, if you know a teacher or somebody who is involved in education, this entire concert is online as an educational resource with worksheets, with videos, with myself and Jamila explaining the background of the pieces, the history of reggae, the performance styles of reggae, all of this about reggae that we worked so hard on. So we want to get that out to as many schools as possible so that young people can understand the history, the importance, the salience, and the gravity of this art form that is reggae, a style of music that has taken the world by storm, really, and has influenced so much of the popular music that we love. So if you know a teacher, let them know about Reggae Roots, the National Arts Center Orchestra. That's where we created that resource. And Jamila was one of the people who really spearheaded that and lent so much of her knowledge. So yeah, take a look at Reggae Roots and come see us.
We need to
Reggae
Roots in every music teacher's curriculum. I'm sorry. This has to be a part.
Free! It's
For free,
free!
exactly. It is free.
It is free. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's free. Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
guys so much. Any last shout outs? Anybody you want to shout out?
Well, I'll start. The Toronto Symphony Orchestra, my amazing band in there that is preparing, even though I'm doing an interview. I want to shout out Daniel. He's right here with me. And I can't wait to see you again, Daniel. It's magic every time I see you.
It's always such a party.
Yes.
It's so good.
And
It's so
also
good.
you. Thank you so much for giving us your platform to be able to
Totally.
share in this way.
Thank you. I'm so honored to have you both. My dream has come true. I was like, oh, please let Daniel do. So thank you both for taking the time again. And I look forward to seeing you guys both. And yes, your dress, girl, the dresses I saw you in, I was like,
No, girl, wait till you see this next one, girl. Feeling them
I felt
softly.
like you were floating on the stage. I was like, this is
Great. So
Thank you,
good.
though. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Have a great
Cheers.
night. This is Shayna
Have a good
McCullough
night.
from
Take care.
Melody Mondays with Daniel and Jamila. Signing out. One love, Instagram. Oh,
One
stay
love.
tuned because anyone who's on the radio, I will be playing Jamila's album. All of the tracks back to back to back mixed in right after this.
So good.
Blessed love, guys. See you. Good night.